whether a member is speaking from his seat. Honorable member, and I realize that at the majority side, the labels are removed. So the thinking is that they are doing some relabeling. So once the labels are not there, so it doesn't mean that I am relaxing the rules. Yes.
Speaker. Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity. Mr. Speaker,
you see, honorable members, those who have been in the House for some time knows that after the appointment of the ministers, there are these changes that are expected to happen. So if as a result of that, the labels are removed, where I sit, I will be unable to determine that this is the situation. Yes, Honorable Majority Whip, let me hear you.
Mr. Speaker, the matter of the permanent assignment of seats in the House is not concluded. It is not. As we speak, we are litigating on the matter of how the demarcation should be between us and our brothers on the other, and sisters on the other side. Speaker has directed that he will deal with the matter. That is why our name tags are not pasted finally on where we should be seated. So for some time now, the rules are relaxed regarding this particular order. So please, can you be calm so we deal with this matter? Can you, Speaker, with all due respect, I am the Chief Whip, and your Chief Whip knows that this matter is not concluded. So you cannot be exacting this rule against our members because we don't have definite assigned seats. So please, Speaker, this is the position of our side. It's not concluded. So honestly, the Honorable Felix Kwachi Ofosu hasn't been assigned a seat yet. He has not been assigned a seat yet. The IT department has done some preliminary assignments in the interim, but it is not definite. So, Speaker, this is the position.
Yes, Honorable Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, Order 115 governs the matter. Let's just read it carefully. Subject to the discretion of the Speaker and Order 169 3B, a member who intends to speak shall rise in the member's place and address the chair while standing only after catching the eye of the Speaker. Despite Rule 1, a member may catch the eye of the Speaker by the use of the relevant technology determined by the House. So, Mr. Speaker, a member is required to be at his place and rise from his place. And when he so rises or she so rises, you can then decide that the person has caught your eye. But, Mr. Speaker, the rule also says that this is all subject to your discretion. So a member may rise. A member may rise at another place. If the member rises at another place and you decide that the member has caught your eye and you grant the member leave to go ahead and speak, no one in this chamber can stop that member from speaking, because you have so decided. You have so decided. The discretion is yours. So to the extent that you have recognized him, he's caught your eye, irrespective of where he is sitting, and you have decided that he should speak, no one can stop him from speaking. So let's put this matter to rest.
Yes, Honorable Deputy Whip.
Mr. Speaker, the majority leader and the leader of the House, per Order 115 that he has quoted, this is not the first time this very member, the minister, is debating in this chamber. He has debated from that angle. He has debated from this angle. He cannot be a seat prostitute. No, he cannot. So, Mr. Speaker, if the majority leader accepts seat prostitute, okay, Mr. Speaker, it's withdrawn. Mr. Speaker, my point here is that this is not the first time.
Yes, Honorable Kwame Abuja.
Mr. Speaker, my colleague, the Deputy Minority Chief Whip, has a right to make his point. But Mr. Speaker, the point has already been made that where he's sitting, first of all, is a seat for the Deputy Minority Leader. Yet he is the one who gets up identifying where people should sit. Mr. Speaker, to the extent that he is calling people seat prostitutes, can there be a better seat prostitute than him? Thirdly, Mr. Speaker, the description of a colleague in this House as a seat prostitute is very offensive, and he must sit in his rightful seat and withdraw that statement immediately. Mr. Speaker, that kind of word has never been used in this House. I entered this House in 2013. I've never heard any colleague describing another one as prostitute. So let him withdraw that statement and apologize immediately.
Mr. Speaker, as I did earlier on, my point is that, Mr. Speaker, I made the point that today is not the first time the minister is debating in this chamber. He has debated from various seats. So I was describing the movement from seat to seat as a seat prostitute. But if he's offended, Mr. Speaker, I shall withdraw that. Mr. Speaker, as they rightly indicated, I was speaking from the Deputy Minority Leader seat. The same way I have been able to detect that he is speaking from Honorable Jaja's seat. I have come to take my rightful seat. So the Honorable Minister must do the right thing. He should also go to his seat and then speak from his seat, because that's what the standing orders in 115 said.
Honorable Phyllis Ofosu-Kwakye, is that your seat?
Mr. Speaker, nobody has assigned me a seat. There's no label here. How do I know where I sit?
Honorable Alhaji Muntaka.
Mr. Speaker, they are placing form over substance, Mr. Speaker.
So just say, okay, in that case, since you have a seat, you go there.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the majority chief will clarify by saying that he's not been able to resolve the sitting arrangement. The majority leader further mentioned that the discussion is just as yours. But Mr. Speaker, there's one that is beyond doubt. The one that is beyond doubt is that this ballot box, this side, is ministerial one, and my colleague is a minister.
So to cut long story, let him come and stand there because that one is in no doubt because that's a ministerial decision. So that we end this thing and go. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Minority Chief Whip.
Go and look for your seat. Go and look for your seat. Go and look for your seat. You are not standing at this fight box. Go and look for your seat.
Honorable Minority Chief Whip, you have the floor.
You should go and look for your seat. Go and look for your seat. Your seat is at the back there. Go. Go to the back. Your seat is at the back there. Go there. This is not the supposed. Go to the back.
Honorable John Darko, please resume your seat.
You should go back.
Speaker. Yes. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable, you have the floor.
Yeah, I want to speak. Speaker, our colleagues should listen to us.
You have the floor.
Yes. First of all, I think this is not a matter we should overly drag. The majority leader read the appropriate orders, except that he failed to admit that Speaker has ruled severally on this matter. You are your good self, you've ruled severally on this matter. The proposition by my good friend, the chief whip, that we are not, seats have not been assigned. It's not entirely true. Leader, with respect to you. Yes, it's not entirely true. The only challenge we had were just few places here, which we have to resolve. I know the seats, oftentimes my colleague sits on. He sits at the back there. He knows his seat. Speaker, let's make progress. Why are we dragging this matter? Those who are saying
Honorable Minority
Speaker, he's a member of Parliament.
Few hours ago,
Speaker,
the minority leader indicated that any member of your side could speak from the dispatch box. Do you stand by that?
Speaker, what the Minister for Interior said is not in the orders. Honorable Felix is our friend, he is our colleague, we respect him as a minister, but he has a seat, he has been assigned a seat. That is a statement of fact. Speaker, are you going against your own ruling? Severally you have ruled that members should speak from their seats. Why on this occasion, Speaker? Why will you chicken out on this occasion? He should go to his seat and let's make progress. Well, if you want him to sit on the dispatch box, let him sit on the dispatch box. Because he's a minister, he should sit on the dispatch box. Well, Speaker, we are entirely in your hands. But I am worried. Speaker, I am worried that you are going against your own earlier rulings. And Speaker, this is defective. You have ruled severally that we should speak from our seats. The minister and the member should humbly move to his seat and make his point. What is this? What?
Honourable members, the rule has been read. It is at my discretion. Honourable members, if seats are not properly arranged for members as we speak right now, as a result of which the label has been removed, making it difficult for me where I sit to look and determine, I intend to exercise my discretion to allow the minister to speak wherever he is. So, Honourable Minister, you have the floor. I will then charge the majority. I will charge the majority whip to exercise, to expedite an action and make sure that the majority side, their seats are properly labeled.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for indulging me. Mr. Speaker, I was making the point that whereas we on this side have enormous respect for the views and sensibilities of Ghanaians on all national matters, we must be wary of feigned outreach, which our colleagues on the other side are attempting to foist on us this evening. Mr. Speaker, for a group that handled the Ghanaian economy the way they did, it lies ill in their mouths to purport to oppose a bill which is designed to address one of the most complex challenges that is weighing down the energy sector. Mr. Speaker, the finance minister, in moving the motion, painted an accurate picture of the current situation in the energy sector. The energy sector is riddled with unsustainable debts, most of which has come about because of gross mismanagement of the economy by our colleagues on the other side. Mr. Speaker, as I speak, we require a colossal $3.7 billion, which translates into almost 50 billion Ghana cedis, to clear debts that have hung over our heads for close to 2 decades. Mr. Speaker, this has become a clear and present danger for Ghana's energy sector. And the time has come for bold initiatives to be adopted in order that we overcome this problem. Mr. Speaker, I was making the point just before I was interrupted that in our recent history, similar bold action has resulted in freeing up the space in the petroleum downstream sector. There was a time when persistent under-recoveries and huge debt overhangs created shortages in fuel products. The then government under President Mahama in 2015 took the bold step of carrying out full deregulation of the sector. Because of that, we have been able to avoid the recurrence of debt, and today petroleum products are available on a regular basis on the market. Mr. Speaker, when debt threatened to hinder further progress in the energy sector, the Energy Sector Levies Act was passed by this House, and that resulted in the accrual of over 40 billion Ghana cedis over the 8-year period that our colleagues on the other side were in power. Somehow, they still managed, in spite of this colossal amount, to bequeath in excess of 80 billion Ghana cedis as debt to us when we took over. This has become a huge difficulty. And the minister says that if this difficulty in the power sector was to be resolved by passing it on to consumers in that sector, it would mean a 50% increase in electricity tariffs. It is the duty of governments to look for ways to lessen the burden and plight and suffering of the Ghanaian people. And that is precisely what this government has been doing. We committed ourselves to reducing hardships. And since we have been in power in the last 5 months, we have done more than any other government under the Fourth Republic to lessen the burden of the Ghanaian public. Mr. Speaker, as I speak to you, this pricing window would mark the 8th consecutive time that fuel prices have dropped. When we took over power, fuel sold at an average of 15.6 Ghana cedis a litre. This added up to over 70 Ghana cedis a gallon for fuel. Because of prudent economic management and our ability to cause the appreciation of the cedi, fuel prices have now dropped to around 54 Ghana cedis a gallon. From 70, which is a reduction of 16 Ghana cedis. Mr. Speaker, when our colleagues on the other side came into power in 2017, fuel sold at around 14 cedis a gallon. By the time they left power, a liter of fuel was selling at 15 Ghana cedis. A liter. But we find that there is a need to do something about the debt overhang in the power sector. According to the energy minister, he requires $1.2 billion every year to buy fuel, liquid fuel, to fire our thermal plants. This is not a component in electricity pricing, because our colleagues on the other side took a decision that they were going to buy fuel on credit and find a way to pay back as and when they find money. But that has proven unsustainable and is leading to a situation where if we don't take prompt action, it will completely undermine the power sector. It is the duty of a responsible government to fix this problem. That is why we have come before the people of Ghana to make this proposal, which will keep fuel prices far below what we inherited when they left power in January 2025. Ghanaians will not pay fuel, I beg your pardon, at the level that they were paying when they were in power, despite the introduction of this levy. Indeed, the minister has just demonstrated that available figures show that because of the consistent gains we have made in the value of the cedi, despite the introduction of this levy, we are going to have a net decrease.
Let me recognize Honorable Minority Chief.
Speaker, our colleague made a significant point, and this is a house of record. He says his administration has reduced taxes more than any other administration. I want to put it to him. Speaker, you increase the sustainability levy from 1% to 3%. And then the sunset clause...
Honorable member, what is your point of order?
Speaker, it's a statement
what
of
is your
fact.
point of order?
Fact. Speaker, I can reference order 1, 2, 3, but
what
that is not a
your
fact.
Point of order?
I'm saying that statement is not true.
Because
and
that is his opinion. You can also
Speaker,
disagree with
yes,
him.
But I'm putting it to him that they increased sustainability levy from 1% to 3%. The sunset clause, which was supposed to exit at 2025, they extended it to 2028.
The practice is that hold it. When it gets to your turn, then you can also place it on record. When it gets to your turn, then you can also place it on record. Your view can also be placed on record. And it is left out to the jury to decide what you said and what he said, which one is correct.
Because in this house, it is also a practice that when somebody is speaking and he puts out an information which is falsehood, under order 122, we can come under that order,
you see,
and correct him.
The order that we are quoting, that the member is stating falsehood, you are delving into a matter of privileges. That is how it is. Invoke the order and see whether it will not be a matter of privileges. It will be a matter of privileges. You can look at the relevant order. So you have the floor.
Mr. Speaker, the Honorable Minority Chief Whip has spoken, but he has actually said nothing. Because I never said this government has reduced taxes more than any other government. I said this government has reduced hardships than any other government under the Fourth Republic, which is a fact. Indeed, the very commodity we are discussing, fuel, is cheaper now than when they left power. That is evidence of reducing hardship. Mr. Speaker, only last week or the week before, transportation prices fell by 15%. Mr. Speaker, there is evidence on the market that a gallon of oil which sold above 1,000 Ghana cedis, now sells at 650 Ghana cedis. Mr. Speaker, multiple industries, including those who produce beverages, have announced significant reductions in the prices of their products. That is evidence of reducing hardships. Mr. Speaker, for the Ghanaian businessman who imported items, who used to exchange a dollar at 16 to 17 Ghana cedis, they now do so under 11 cedis. That is evidence of reducing hardships. So when I say that this government has done more to reduce hardships than any other under the Fourth Republic, I have spoken fact. It is grounded. But Mr. Speaker, I was making the point that whereas it is the duty of government to reduce hardships, it is also our duty to ensure that if we face imminent threats to the power sector, we act timeously to avert same. This arrangement, through the increase of ESLA, would ensure that at the very least this year, $500 million, equivalent to about 5.7 billion Ghana cedis, is available for the purchase of fuel. And Mr. Speaker, the only reason why fuel does not form part of power or electricity pricing is that they took a convenient political decision to exclude it in the price build-up in the hope that they could defer today's problem to tomorrow. That kind of governance always catches up with you. Mr. Speaker, I also noted that my respected friend who spoke on their behalf cited percentages in order to create the impression of humongous increases. Mr. Speaker, the famous economics professor, Aaron Livingston, once said that statistics are like bikinis. What you see is suggestive, but what they conceal is vital. The reason why he cited percentages is to create a misleading impression that there has been an over-the-top increase in the price of fuel. But Mr. Speaker, the total cumulative effect of this increase will be a net reduction because other factors contributed to by the economic prudence of this government have resulted in a consistent downward trend in the price of fuel. Those are the facts that he sought to conceal by stating those misleading statistics. Mr. Speaker, it is all well and good. It is all well and good for them to play politics and purport to be outraged. A party that introduced more than 30 different taxes within a space of 30 years cannot possibly be outraged over a minimal increase in an existing tax. They cannot reprobate and approbate. They cannot love taxes and hate taxes at the same time. They cannot hate pork and eat pork soup. Mr. Speaker, if they were genuinely concerned about the Ghanaian people, they would not have slapped the multiplicity of taxes they did on them when they were in power. We are compelled to take this measure, and we do so at a time when we have demonstrated capacity to reduce the burden of the Ghanaian people. And we commit to using the resources that accrue from this increase in the levy in a manner that sustainably addresses the biggest risk to the Ghanaian economy, which is the debt overhang in the power sector. I urge my colleagues to move away from the grandstanding, to move away from the politicking, to move away from the pretense, and join us in this effort to resolve one of our biggest problems, because it will turn out that in the long run, we will permanently overcome what has become a cyclical problem which they struggled and failed to address. Mr. Speaker, I urge the House to back the Finance Minister and the Energy Minister in this nation-building exercise, so that we may guarantee security of power going forward, so that our children do not have to shoulder the responsibility that we reneged on. I thank you so much for your...
Honorable former Minister, I intend to give the floor to Honorable Asafoje before you, because the statements that we were making while sitting Place it on record.
Place it on record. Place it on record. Asabaje.
Honorable Amin, you have the floor. Honorable Amin, you have the floor.
Avenue. Place it on record. Avenue. Walk out, walk out. Avenue. They should walk out. They went to sleep. If you can't, just walk out.
You have the floor.
Didn't you pass the gold board? Search. Asabaje, on record. On record.
Mr. Speaker.
Honorable
Mr.
Amin
Speaker.
Adams, you have the floor.
Mr. Speaker.
Okay. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity to comment on this very important subject. Right Honorable Speaker, I'm surprised that my colleague on the other side, the Honorable Felix Kwachi, indicated that analysis based on percentages are misleading. That cannot be true. Whether you do absolute analysis based on absolute numbers or based on percentages, they are all correct. And so depending on what suits you, you can do analysis based on that. And so it will be intellectually incorrect to suggest that when you make analysis based on percentages, it's misleading. That cannot be true. Mr. Speaker, the government, this government, the NDC government, is taking Ghanaians for granted. The minister rightly said that as a result of the gains in the city, the value of the city, we are supposed to see that transmitted through prices. And therefore, he's expecting the prices of petroleum products to even go down better. But that is the issue. Prices are supposed to go down when the city appreciates. That's a logical economic sequence. But my worry is that when prices are going to fall, should it be the duty of government to claw back the benefits that the Ghanaian people are to drive from the policy that you have touted so much here? Is it a crime? Is it a crime? The minister said that they have implemented good policies, they've implemented measures which are stabilizing the currency. And as a result of that, the petroleum product prices are going to fall. What crime has the people of Ghana committed such that when they are supposed to benefit from the appreciation in the value of the city through the prices of petroleum products, this government should claw back those benefits? What crime have they committed? And therefore, Right Honorable Speaker, it should be our responsibility for the people of Ghana to benefit from the policies that we make. We're all celebrating the appreciation in the value of the city. I celebrate it, but I'll even celebrate more if the benefits are felt through the prices of petroleum products. And why this government will claw back some of the benefits from the Ghanaian people bothers me. Mr. Speaker, that is not a responsible government, which is supposed to take back benefits the citizens of the country are to derive from its own policy. Mr. Speaker, this government, not long ago, They were here celebrating abolition of taxes. They were celebrating abolition of taxes. But I'm sorry to say that all the taxes they abolished, put together, did not bring us 5 billion Ghana cedis. Put together, did not bring us 5 billion Ghana cedis. This government is seeking to raise 5.7 billion Ghana cedis from the increase in the levies for petroleum products. Mr. Speaker, I said in this house during the debate on the budget that this government, in abolishing the taxes, was giving you something in your hand with the left hand, and they were going to take it back from your hand with their right hand. And not only take it from your hand, but take what was in your pocket in addition. And this is exactly what they are doing with the petroleum taxes that they are increasing. Mr. Speaker, we know, we've been in government before, you are in government today. We know the realities governments are faced with sometimes. Because every policy we make has trade-offs. Therefore, by stabilizing the cedi, petroleum product prices will fall. Revenue from petroleum taxes will also fall. I was expecting the minister to be candid with us. And as a result of that, the minister needed additional revenue to be able to balance the budget. Everybody will understand this. But to say that we are increasing these levies to address power sector challenges, these power sector challenges they've canvassed were equally canvassed during the presentation of the budget. The minister knew about all this and allocated 28 billion Ghana cedis for energy sector shortfall payment. He knew about that. And that's why he budgeted for the 28 billion. So if you are losing revenue from petroleum taxes because petroleum prices will go down as a result of the stabilization of the cedi, tell us. But even if you are losing revenue there, Mr. Speaker, if you are losing revenue there, the Ghana Revenue Authority exceeded its revenue target in the first quarter by 2.5 billion Ghana cedis. They are on their way. They are on their way. I've seen the data to achieving about 3 billion Ghana cedis excess for the second quarter. And that should give you the 5 billion Ghana cedis the minister is seeking to raise from petroleum taxes. And so there's no justification for the increase in the levy on petroleum prices, Mr. Speaker. I'm even worried why this is being taken under certificate of urgency. Why should we take this under certificate of urgency? What has changed? That will warrant this House to take this bill under certificate of urgency. We are rushing to impose additional taxes on the people of Ghana. Mr. Speaker, we kept the lights on in spite of the challenges they are talking about in the energy sector. We kept the lights on. And so if you cannot do it, give up. Tell the people of Ghana, you cannot do it. We kept the lights on in spite of those challenges. You are talking about the debts in the energy sector. Now who caused some? Didn't you sign the take-or-pay contracts? And when you signed the take-or-pay contracts, did you incorporate the excess capacity into the tariffs? You didn't do that. Mr. Speaker, at the end of 2024, we closed the ESLA PLC. The ESLA PLC, which used to take almost half of the ESLA levies that were collected to service bonds, the ESLA bonds. We closed the program, which means that this government now has the full complement of all the levies collected. If you are collecting 6 billion Ghana cedis a year, and only 3 billion Ghana cedis was coming to you, now that you have the 6 billion Ghana cedis, is there any basis to go out and tax the Ghanaian people any further? There is no basis to do that, Mr. Speaker. And this is why I think that the minister should come again. This is exploitative. Mr. Speaker, when it comes to fuel cost, which, as I see on this report, the minister said is going to lead to increase in tariffs by over 50%. What fuel costs are we talking about? One liquid fuel. If you take the price built up for power, the power sector, for electricity. It includes fuel. Fuel has always been part of it. And then the formula does not differentiate whether it is liquid fuel or gas fuel. It is fuel. It is part of the composite tariff for generation. We know it. Honorable Abujinapo, you know what I'm talking about. Felix, you know what I'm talking about. Fuel has always been part of the build-up. And so I am surprised, even if it is liquid fuel, how much liquid fuel do we use? We use gas most of the time. The liquid fuel we use is so little to the extent that the fuel that they are now introducing, liquid fuel, will lead to tariff increase by 50%. Mr. Speaker, that cannot be true. Honorable Minister, come again. And so to conclude, right, Honorable Speaker, the MPP has a record of also reducing taxes. When it comes to even petroleum taxes, we have a record. We abolished the excise petroleum taxes. We reduced taxes on public lighting. We reduced taxes on the National Electricity Scheme. We reduced the special petroleum tax, which you people introduced at 18%. We reduced it to 13%. And we converted it from ad valorem tax to specific tax, so that it's no longer percentage, it is specific. We've done this before. And I was expecting that you, our friends and brothers on the other side, who have talked so much about tax increases under the MPP government, and that you were going to abolish it. You only abolished taxes that could not give us 5 billion, and you are turning around to impose taxes on the people of Ghana, to increase taxes and take 5.7 billion Ghana cedis. Mr. Speaker, this is not good. We must let the Ghanaian people have confidence and trust in politicians. When we give something with the left hand and we take it back with the right hand, the people of Ghana lose that confidence and trust in us. So this House has a responsibility to reject this bill in order to inject confidence in the Ghanaian people that we can truly represent them in the affairs, in the governance of this country. I thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity.
Honorable John Jinapo, Minister for Energy and Green Transition.
Let me thank you. First of all, Mr. Speaker, this whole debate is about fuel prices and its impact. And we are having this debate because under the NDC government, fuel has reduced from about 15 point something to about 12 cedi. In fact, that is the whole debate. This whole debate is because of a reduction. But for that reduction, we will be debating. Because the debate is, what reduction is the consumer getting? And what is government taking to support reliable, affordable, uninterruptible supply of power? This is it. Mr. Speaker, my good friend, the deputy ranking says that fuel prices will increase by 100%. With the greatest of respect, that is completely misleading. And in Wuntumi's words, Wobo. Mr. Speaker, if I may borrow, once again, Mr. Speaker, if I may borrow the strong and venerable Wuntumi's
Honorable
words.
Minister, what is Wobo? What is the meaning?
This cannot be the case. And to sum it in English, Mr. Speaker, it simply means that it's inaccurate. That is all. It simply means it's inaccurate. But Mr. Speaker, my good friend, Honorable former Finance Minister, talks about fuel prices. Honorable Aminanta, consumption increases by 300 megawatts every year. When we were handing over, We handed over the Atuabu gas processing plant. We handed over the ENI gas field with an integrated gas processing plant. Under your 8 years, you could not add even 1 kilometer of pipeline. 1 kilometer, one. Ghana Gas was moribund. There was no need, and yet you were buying liquid fuels. That means that you had no foresight. That means that you couldn't plan. If you had planned, today we won't be talking about liquid fuels. But under His Excellency, John Dramani Mahama, I want to assure you, just as we did in 2015, 2016, we are resolving the energy sector problems. We are dealing with it. And I'm happy to note that the power supply is improving day by day by day by day. Mr. Speaker, for the records, your last month in December, Mr. Speaker, for the records, your last month in went as far as 90 megawatts. Today we are not shedding load. Today we are not shedding load. And he says that, Mr. Speaker, he says that, what are we doing? When we were leaving office, and these are facts, and you know I don't joke with my facts. No, I don't joke with my facts. Because facts are sacrosanct. You can have your opinion, I can have my opinion, but as for facts, there can only be one fact. When we were leaving office, the losses as far as ECG was concerned was 22%. Under your administration, the losses has gone up to about 40%. That is a fact, and you can check from the records. Mr. Speaker, when we were leaving office, the debt as of September 2017, and you can check ESLA PLC, was 9.7 billion cedis. You collected 45 billion and yet ended up a debt with about 80 billion to us. That is your record. That is your record. And when we want one guy to pay. And when we NDC members of John Mahama's administration, when we are taking pragmatic steps, smart moves, intellectual moves to address the situation, you want to antagonize us? No. Please retreat. Retreat, because this will not help you. Mr. Speaker, let me assure you that unlike the previous administration, we decided to use ESLA proceeds to pay for pension funds. We will use these funds judiciously for the energy sector. And I tell you, we are determined to turn this sector around. Mr. Speaker, on this note, and on this auspicious note, let me make it clear that irrespective of the 1 cedi, we are not going to see an increase in the price of pump price at the petroleum sector. It is only an intelligent government that can do this. No, it's only a smart government. It's only a government with acumen that can do this. You had 8 years, you messed the economy up, you took us to IMF, you gave us a haircut, you gave us higher inflation, a higher exchange rate, and when we have taken over and we are turning things around, you want to instigate the people around us. It will not work, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the people of Ghana knows better. And I tell you that we will turn this economy around. I have confidence in President Mahama, and I have confidence in Atu Forcing, who is forcing. Mr. Speaker, on this note, I know that time is fast spent. It's 10 minutes to 11 to 10 o'clock. And so with your permission, Mr. Speaker, I know you've been sitting for long and you want to retire. So, Mr. Speaker, if it pleases you, you may put the question and we'll go home. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Edu.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to comment on the statement. Mr. Speaker, it's quite interesting that our colleagues on the other side always talk about the fact that we didn't add any capacity to our energy sector. And Mr. Speaker, for the record, let me state, in 2017, breakdown of power plant additions, 2017, we added AXA, Asogli and Car Power. That's 603 megawatts. In 2018, Mr. Speaker, we added AXA Phase 2, we added SEM Power, we added My Energy, 490 megawatts. Mr. Speaker, 2019, we added the TT2PP, Amandi, and Jensa, 239 megawatts. In 2020, we added Early Power, we added the Bui Solar, we added the VRA Solar, we added the Chachado Hydro, which was 161 megawatts. In 2021, we added the Daman Jensa project. We added the Bui Solar, the VRA Solar, 79 megawatts. 2023, the VRA Solar Kalio Phase 2, and the BPA floating, 90 megawatts. In 2024, Mr. Speaker, we added Early Power, 56 megawatts, all totaling 1,600 megawatts. So it is inaccurate. It is inaccurate for anybody to say that we did not add anything. Now, Mr. Speaker, let me go to the issue of the 1 cedi levy that they seek to impose on Ghanaians. I heard the finance minister and the minister for energy saying that they have reduced petroleum prices to about 11 cedis. And for the records, Mr. Speaker, in petroleum pricing, there are 3 factors that composes the petroleum pricing. 1, the FX, 2, the world market price, and 3, the taxes. We all know that FX and world market price are volatile and fluctuate every time. The constant in the pricing is the taxes. It will interest you to know that from all the presidents that we've had, from ex-President Jerry John Rawlings to ex-President Kufuor, to ex-President Tata Mills, to ex-President John Mahama I, to ex-President Nana Akufo-Addo, Mr. Speaker, all the taxes and levies together that we have had over the period is 2 cedis 30 pesos. 2 cedis 30 pesos. It also interests you to know, Mr. Speaker, that as of 2024, the world market price of petroleum was hovering around $800. Between 2020 to 2024, world market price was between $1,200 and $800. And that was when we were buying fuel at 15 cedis. So taking the constant tax of 2 cedi 30 pesos out, it means between the world market price and the FX, we were buying fuel around, when you take the tax out, it was around 13 cedis, Mr. Speaker. Today, prices are around 11 cedis. We are adding 1 cedi to the 2 cedi 30 pesos. That is 3 cedis 30 pesos. And I am shocked that our colleagues here are smiling and laughing over 1 cedis. Never in our history has any president added 1 cedi to our taxes on petroleum. This is outrageous, Mr. Speaker. We are burdening the Ghanaian. And I think we should all bow our heads in shame. We should all bow our heads in shame to impose a whooping 1 cedi on petroleum. Since I became of age, Mr. Speaker, anytime there's fuel increment, it's either in percentages. So normally it's in pesos, maybe 20 pesos, 30 pesos. Never in our history has any government imposed a 1 Ghana cedi tax. Now let's look at the mathematics. Mr. Speaker, let's look at the mathematics. Every month, this country consumes about 400,000 metric tons of fuel. When you convert that to letters, it is about 470 million letters monthly, which if you multiply by the 1 cedi, it means you'll be paying about 475 million monthly. We are taking 475 million from the pockets of the ordinary Ghanaian, which translates to about 5.7 billion in a year. 5.7 billion in a year. That is outrageous, Mr. Speaker. And I believe that taking this money from the pockets of Ghanaians is going to, one, affect individual incomes. It's also going to affect businesses. The ministers should find an alternative. If they want revenue generation, they should find an alternative that will help them, rather than this clandestine move of reimposing the e-levy on Ghanaians. And at this point, Mr. Speaker, I would say that this is very insensitive, and we, on the minority side, Mr. Speaker, for this one, kill and chia.
Yes, Honorable Kwame Govins Agboja.
Mr. Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity to contribute to this motion and encourage colleagues to support the efforts of the Finance Minister to address a very critical issue in our country. Mr. Speaker, this issue in the energy sector resonates with the rest of the sectors in the economy. Mr. Speaker, I hear the minority leader always asking, why are you not paying contractors? Why are you not paying contractors? Well, part of the reason we are paying slowly the debt you left, which is 21 billion Ghana cedi, is because you have created so much mess in the energy sector, and because President Mahama is determined to keep the lights on, we spend a lot of the resources buying fuel to operate the generators. Mr. Speaker, when my good friend Colin was speaking, he reminds me of some of the economic theories Dr. Baumia was teaching us. I heard my colleague Colin saying that the increment in the fuel prices that would come as a result of what we are trying to do will be worse than what we were doing. Honorable Collins, the fact is that by the time you were leaving office, a litre of fuel was around 15 cedis per litre. That is still going to be far higher than the 12 cedi that we are expecting, even after the addition of the 1 Ghana cedi. That is exactly the kind of argument Dr. Baumia was making, that the exchange rate of 4 cedi to the dollar in 2016 was worse off than the 16 cedi to the dollar under the NPP government. What kind of economics is this? And this kind of argument has sent you into opposition. You haven't changed. Then, Mr. Speaker, I want to explain this simply to our colleagues. Just today, Honorable Collins and a lot of my colleagues came here saying that, why did you stop the road construction in our communities? It is very simple. And I heard him saying, Mr. Speaker, these taxes, when paid, would free the finance minister to release money to other sectors, including the road ministry. So once you have made your point that you do not want this tax, as my very good colleague said, that we are not going to pay, just know that the impact of that will also reflect on the roads in your community. So once you decide that these monies are not necessary, I can understand that, including the finance minister. In fact, a lot of road projects are in the former finance minister's community. The contractors are not working, isn't it? Simply because we don't have money to pay them. The contractors are not working. Even your own community, the contractors are parked off site. In fact, the ones that actually work You didn't pay them before going. Now we are faced with the burden of looking for money to pay for the contractors that work in the community. And then we are saying that free the finance minister. So you allocate money to me so that I pay the contractors who work for you. You say, yeah. Anyway, I have taken judicious notice of everybody who says, yeah. I have taken a very critical look at the faces of everybody who say, yeah. And I'll apply it to the work I'm going to do. Mr. Speaker, this is not a joke. And I want to commend the energy minister for the great job he's done. Our colleagues opposite thought they set a trap for us by actually messing the finances in the energy sector. They were shouting, saying that Doomsaw will come, Doomsaw will come. You have been exposed. Doomsaw is not here. Therefore, the energy minister is fixing the problem. We want to make it even more sustainable. You are not paying the IPPs. We are not paying the IPPs. Today, you see a government that is determined to use the money to fix the problem, build new gas plants, because you are afraid that you'll be exposed further. You say, Yentia. As for the Yentia, I've heard it. And we will make sure that we use these monies to address the shortfalls in the energy sector. And I want to encourage you, don't see this as politics. When the lights are kept on, they are kept on for all of us. When the economy collapses, it collapses for all of us. So I want to commend the finance minister for this bold step. Few months ago, you decided that you spend the money and embellish it and say we will not pay. Honorable Ato Forson is saying that, no, we'll come to the people of this country and be honest with them that we have a problem and we want to solve the problem. Isn't it amazing that all that you are saying about the increment, this evening, the price of fuel will still fall? Is that not magic to you? That you are crying that things will go up. Yet even after the addition of the 1 cedi, the price has fallen. That is smart economics. That is what you were not able to do. Honorable Amin Anta, I think you can jealous your colleague, your Honorable Ato now. The guy is really smart, isn't it? And I think that you are taking notes. If you get opportunity one day, you would like to be like him. I want to encourage you, be bold and support him, because he's doing what you have not been able to do. And he's going to make sure he takes the money, allocate money to me to fix the roads that we have been done in the community, which you didn't pay for before leaving office. On this note, I encourage you to support him. Don't just join them. Don't say Yentia, because as a former finance minister, following them and saying Yentia, they may not know the economics. You know. Guide them to say that we should pay this so that the problem will be fixed. With this note, Mr. Speaker, I want to encourage colleagues. The net effect is that the Ghanaian is not going to be affected negatively by this increment. The net effect is that this economy is healthier than the economy you left. The net effect is that despite the fact that we are going to pay your debt, and in very soon, Mr. Speaker, I will explain to you, where under this government, even contractors were paid millions of dollars, and we didn't get even 1 kilometer of road out of it. All those who come out, for the Ghanaian to know how you mismanage our economy. So when we are talking, please, give us some peace of mind to solve problems of the Ghanaian. Give us a peace of mind. Mr. Speaker, the mess they left, if we want to debate the mess these people left in every ministry, it will be difficult for them to open their mouth. And at the right time, Mr. Speaker, some of these details will come out, and you feel ashamed of what your government did to the people of this country. Of course, Yentia, for the one that matters to Ghanaians, when you paid $30 million to a contractor for no work, you are happy about that one. Anyway, we thank God, and my minority leader, I am very grateful that you are happy today. Untumi has been released from custody, so now there will not be anything. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Yes, Honorable Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for the opportunity to add my voice to this debate. Mr. Speaker, first I have a preliminary matter that I want addressed. If you look at page 1 of the report, paragraph 2.0, the committee's report reads, and with your leave, I quote, "The committee met to determine the urgency of the bill pursuant to Standing Order 1062 of the House." Mr. Speaker, I have read Standing Order 1062. Unfortunately, if you go into our standing orders, there is no Order 162. The 106 we have has to do with withdrawal of motion. So, Mr. Speaker, 106. No, please, with respect. I'm saying that I'm raising a preliminary matter for consideration before I go into the substance of the matter. With respect, page 1 of the report, paragraph 2.0, urgency of the bill, quote, "The committee met to determine the urgency of the bill pursuant to Standing Order 1062 of the House." Mr. Speaker, I am speaking from the records of the committee's report. Now, if you go to the standing orders, we only have Order 106. 106 has no 1, has no 2. It deals with withdrawal of motion. So, Mr. Speaker, if this report is seeking to withdraw the motion, then there's no need to debate it. We've been told that we should act within the rules. So, Mr. Speaker, is it the pleasure of the chair of the committee to do the needful so that, I come back to do my debate? Because, Mr. Speaker, this is a very fundamental matter of reference to our rules. And it is nowhere in the rules. There is no Order 1062 in our rules book. No, I don't know. That's why I'm bringing it up.
Honorable Chairman of the Committee.
Yes. Mr. Speaker, it is obviously an error. We came pursuant to Order 160, not 106. It's 160.
Leave accordingly granted. The report is corrected.
So, Mr. Speaker, from what the chair of the committee just did, is he relying on Order 1601 or 1602, Mr. Speaker, or 3? Which of them are you referring to?
Mr. Speaker, I was very emphatic that that was an error, but we are coming under 160.
Honorable Minority
Just
Leader,
160.
it doesn't lie within your power to say whether it is 1601, 1602, or 1603. In interpretation, once he said 160, take the 160 as a whole. You have the floor.
Mr. Speaker, I just want to know from the chair the leave he sought and the corrections that he made pursuant to your leave.
I think we've all heard him.
So he's relying the paragraph 2.0 now reads order 160 of the House. Is that the case? Very well. Mr. Speaker, that being the case, I shall proceed to address the House on my own views in this matter. Mr. Speaker, first, this government from day one created a certain impression to the Ghanaian public that it's a government that consults. Unfortunately, this bill, which was just introduced to the House, had no prior consultation. Mr. Speaker, the government is telling us that it is against taxation and levies, and that introducing taxes and levies will burden the ordinary Ghanaian. What we are seeing today is that after repealing e-levy, the government is introducing another e-levy. Mr. Speaker, government is saying that it is introducing 1 Ghana cedi e-levy on petroleum products. 1 Ghana cedi. So, Mr. Speaker, 1 liter, 1 Ghana cedi e-levy. If you buy a gallon of petrol, it is 4 cedi 50 pesos e-levy. So, Mr. Speaker, this government is imposing 4 cedi 50 pesos e-levy on a gallon of petrol that we buy.
Yes,
You
Honorable
have
Agboja.
energy, you said energy.
Honorable Minority
sector
Leader,
levy.
I
Oh,
recognize
Kwame,
Honorable Agboja.
We stood for, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Agboja spoke for 19 minutes. We all sat and listened to him. Very well. I would allow you, this is your government's bill. If that's what you want to do, it's 10 o'clock. Let's proceed. No,
Honorable
Mr.
Agboja,
Speaker,
you have the
when
floor.
we do it to them, nobody should cry. It's okay. Filibuster, go ahead and filibuster.
Mr. Speaker, my nephews do watch parliamentary proceedings. They know what e-levy was, which was repealed. When the minority leader keeps talking about e-levy and they are watching, they may get confused. To save my nephews, let the minority leader just know that there's no semblance of e-levy in this house today. So you are debating a completely different bill. Actually, I want to suggest that perhaps he's been given the wrong bill, because there's no e-levy in this house. Energy sector levies, no, energy sector levies is not e-levy. How can you say it is e-levy? Show us which bill, what is the title of the bill you've got? What is the title of the bill you've got? You said you are Catholic. Do you have e-levy on your paper? You say you are Catholic. Proof. Do you have any e-levy on your paper? You don't have e-levy. And people are watching. Why are you shaking your head? Why are you shaking your head? Do you have e-levy?
Yes, you have the floor.
Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker. Kwame, we are all Saturday borns, but yours is just too much. Mr. Speaker, when the Akufo-Addo government introduced the electronic transactions levy, you never referred to it as electronic transactions levy. Was there anything like e-levy in the law? Was the law setting e-levy? You see, you are now crying. Mr. Speaker, this is an e-levy. I would call it e-levy. E-levy go, e-levy come. That's what you're doing. Now, you said that you have repealed the e-levy which was on Momo transactions. You have now. Don't forget that when I sit down, your leader is going to be on his feet. So be careful. When I'm done, the last person to speak is the leader of the house. So continue. Continue. When I'm done, I'm not the final person to speak. When I'm done, he would be the next. So continue. You continue. Mr. Speaker, the Akufo-Addo government introduced a levy on Momo transactions. Our friends criticized it. They came and they repealed it. It's a matter of fact. Today, this same government, after repealing e-levy, has introduced another e-levy which is more burdensome than the one they repealed. This e-levy is imposing 4 Ghana cedis, 4 cedi 50 pesos on a liter, on a gallon of petrol. How much were Ghanaians paying for the Momo levy? Mr. Speaker, now you said you were not going to introduce taxes. You are now introducing e-levy, and your e-levy is more expensive than the e-levy you repealed. If you put all the taxes, the e-levy you repealed, how much Ghanaians were paying for that e-levy compared to how much Ghanaians will pay? You have said, I'm not the one saying so. Please, if you go to your report, the report is talking about the amount to be expected in this. Look at page 4, paragraph 8.0. Your e-levy is going to impose a huge burden that will cost the Ghanaian taxpayer in excess of 5.7 billion cedis. A lot of money. The e-levy that you repealed was less than 2 billion. The e-levy that you repealed was less than 2 billion. The e-levy that you are imposing now is 5.7 billion plus. Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Soini, I believe you are being interruptive. Please resume your seat. Honorable Soini, kindly resume your seat. I take offense from the statement that have you taken my girl.
Mr.
Honorable
Speaker.
members, we are honorable members, we must behave as such. Honorable Sahin, you have the floor.
Mr. Speaker, you didn't add the Togbi to it. It's Togbi or Sahin, you know. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Suhini is your own friend. Sometimes you should take it easy, he's your own friend. Sometimes you don't call him. That's why he said you've taken his thing. So if you've taken his thing, give it to him.
You have
Mr.
the
Speaker,
floor. You have the floor.
Very well. Very well. Mr. Speaker, they are today imposing 4 cedi 50 pesos on a gallon, on each gallon of petrol. On each gallon of petrol, you are imposing e-levy of 4 cedi 50 pesos. Mr. Speaker, I want to read portions of the report. Mr. Speaker, the minister said, under object of the bill, I quote, paragraph 5.0, the purpose of the bill is to amend the Energy Sector Levies Act 2025, Act 1135, to increase the rates of the energy sector shortfall and debt repayment levy in order to raise additional revenue to support the payment of energy sector's shortfall, reduce energy sector debt, and stabilize power supply. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Kwame Agboja was talking about payment of road contractors. Mr. Speaker, for the records, this bill, this levy is not for the payment of road contractors. Mr. Speaker, this e-levy is going to pay for the pay or take contract that you signed in 2015. This e-levy. Mr. Speaker, in 2015 in this house, Dr. Mark Esebe-Yabua took the NDC government to the Supreme Court, questioning the government on why it was signing power purchase agreement without recourse to Parliament. This government defended its action and said that, well, ECG had its own board. And to the extent that ECG was a limited liability company, albeit government being a sole shareholder, they could do their own business. And the Supreme Court upheld that argument for them. And that is why all those contracts were signed. Can you tell us how many power purchase agreements were signed by the Akufo-Addo government? Can you? Because the Akufo-Addo government was paying for the power purchase agreement you signed and bequeathed it. But, Mr. Speaker, I will not be hypocritical. I know my friends have not played the game fairly, but I will take it from the ending part of Kwame Agboja's submission that let's look at Ghana. And I would raise my submissions from there. If you fail to be honest with the people, this is your shame. In fact, this night is a night of shame for you guys. E-levy, you repeal, you introduce e-levy. I am surprised Honorable Jinapor is not in this chamber. When he came into office, he talked about the challenges at ECG. And I'm with him on that score. Mr. Speaker, the time has come for us as a political class to look at the institutional failures and address them. If Honorable Minister of Energy comes to this house introducing reforms, I will be the first to support him. If he comes to do politics, saying that during your time it was 22% transmission losses and our time is 40%, that is the usual politics. Now, the mistake you are making is that imposing these levies without addressing the challenges at ECG, Mr. Speaker, you will come to square one. Mr. Speaker, I want colleagues, I have chaired that board. And the problems of that institution, Mr. Speaker, the fact that I'm in opposition does not mean that you in government should fail. No. Mr. Speaker, but I'm saying that the challenges in that institution is beyond you in government and I in opposition. If we want to look at it with a partisan eye, gentlemen and ladies of this chamber, we would always come here and argue. But the problems will be there. I am rather proposing to this government that focus on reforms at ECG. The power we produce. Mr. Speaker, I want to encourage this government to focus on reforms at ECG. There are fundamental challenges there, from the point where people consume the power without paying. Mr. Speaker, I'm not with the report now, but Mr. Speaker, for the 3 or 4 months that I chaired that board, there was a report that I had a privy of going through, and it was alarming. What was it? That less than 30% of the users of the power we generate actually pay. Most households have illegally connected. Most factories do not pay power. So, Mr. Speaker, in this chamber, instead of we doing the MPP NDC politics, let's spare a moment of our time. Today, with technology, there is nothing you cannot do. I hold a view that even aside this bill, you are going to get some 5.7 billion cedis if the reforms are properly handled. Mr. Speaker, quite obviously, you can rake in more and more and more. Because when we have a stable energy sector, it benefits the economy, it benefits our people, and government will be able to use resources to develop the nation rather than always going to use it to pay. Mr. Speaker, can you imagine this 5.7 billion divided by 276? This is supposed to be monthly, correct? Yearly. Divided by 276. It means that this money could be for our people infrastructure. 400,000 or more can come to each constituency. So, Mr. Speaker, if we do not take steps to introduce reforms at ECG, at Ghana Gas, at VRA, at BUI, Mr. Speaker, we will come back again to say we are imposing another e-levy. And this is what I want my friends in government to take advantage of and do those reforms. For now, the reforms they spoke about, nothing has been done. When they took office, they were chasing after containers, trying to talk about containers that were not even in the custody of ECG, claiming that those containers have been stolen. All of a sudden, they say the containers have been found, and they've not held a press conference on it. They only smuggled the report to graphic to publish it on front page, and they went quiet. They forgot about the damage they did to the reputations of the management and the board of ECG, knowing that at the time they made those statements, those containers were not in the custody of ECG, but were in the custody of the ports. Mr. Speaker, there is a limit to mischief. When we get on the campaign platform, of course, we can make promises. Once you come into government, you have to recline and face the reality. Dr. Forson came here to promise us that there will be no taxes. No new taxes will be imposed. No new taxes will be imposed. No new levies. Mr. Speaker, today, what is the time? 10, as I speak, it's 10:22. In the dead of night, Ghanaians, I suspect, with this application to take the bill through the motions and the certificate of urgency, the intention of the leader of government business is to do this thing in the dead of night like they did in the gold board one. So Ghanaians will wake up to another e-levy. To another e-levy. When you have not introduced any reforms in the energy sector, all you are doing is imposing.
Honorable
Another
Minority Leader, I recognize Minister responsible for education.
Very well. Mr. Speaker, I yield to him in accordance with your orders. I will yield. The Honorable Minister of Education, today you've decided to be the number 6. So you are coming on a point of order or point of information. I will yield to you. You guys will never listen to others in silence, but it's okay. Don't forget that when I'm done, your leader will speak.
Minority
That is
Leader.
what you forgotten.
Honorable Minority Leader, with all due respect, I indicated to you humbly that I recognize the minister responsible for education. So please, kindly resume your seat and let's hear
Mr.
him.
Speaker, I will resume my seat. Bear with me a moment. Mr. Speaker, I can take heckling, but where backbenchers are throwing their left hand and shouting, that is unacceptable. They are all of them. Mr. Speaker, that is very disrespectful. That is very disrespectful.
Yes, Honorable Minister for Education.
Mr. Speaker, let me thank you very much. The Honorable Minority Leader knows that when the leader is on his feet, it must be very compelling for me to come on a point of order. Mr. Speaker, I do so on 2 counts. One, repeatedly he stated that this government must undertake necessary reforms and that this government is failing to undertake the reforms. Mr. Speaker, I just want to assure him that President Mahama, as President of the Republic, has given cabinet approval for private sector participation in electricity akin to the PDS Field Initiative, which is a major reform decision to open up electricity company so that efficiencies will improve. Mr. Speaker, the second count of my point of order is when the leader says that certificate of agency. And Mr. Speaker, you are presiding. Certificate of agency on what? This is a financial bill. The combined effect of Article 1062 and 108, this is not a bill you should be debating agency. Indeed, the Minister for Finance introduced this bill in daylight in order that he can save the country from doomsday tomorrow. This government will not sleep and wake up tomorrow to be blamed that this country will be subjected to another energy failures that will cripple the private sector, cripple individuals from undertaking their economic activities. So, Mr. Speaker, let the leader be reminded that I respect your law. Read the combined effect of Article 1062 and 108 combined. This bill is a financial bill and can walk the process and be concluded today in accordance with the Constitution and the law. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, the former leader, Mr. Speaker, the former leader of this House and now Education Minister knows how much I respect him. And even where I disagree with him, I am measured in my disagreement. Mr. Speaker, the issue of certificate of agency is not mine. It's born out of records. And he knows that my law has never rusted. My law has always been live and active. Mr. Speaker, I referred to the report. The report at page 1, paragraph 2, talks about urgency of the bill. That was what I was referring to. So I disagree with him. I don't want to use the word he's wrong. I disagree with him when he suggests that I am arguing the matter of certificate of urgency. That is what the report is saying, not me. Two, it is also your submission that there's a cabinet approval. Honorable Minister, this house is not part of cabinet. The Minister of Energy is a member of cabinet. If there is any such reform, it is his duty to introduce it to this house. He is to apprise the house. And I believe that if this government is minded by its own reforms, this government will rather implement the reforms before introducing any new tax. If you believe in your own reforms, you would implement the reforms. And I'm saying that we in the minority are ready to support if you mean a genuine reform. Mr. Speaker, why do you say you are repealing e-levy and reintroducing e-levy? Mr. Speaker, let me read paragraph 7 of the report. Quote, the committee observed that the power sector is the biggest economic and fiscal risk presently faced by the country, and this could lead to major outages in the country if it is not addressed immediately. Mr. Speaker, the committee got it wrong. What we know is that since this government assumed office, there has been a return of Dumso. We know that Dumso is back. Your energy committee members acknowledge this at a workshop. Your own side, the majority side, publicly spoke about this. So why are you pretending in your report? Why is it that in your report you are saying that Dumso is yet to come and you are introducing this bill to save the situation? Be honest. When you campaign and you say all manner of things, including 1 job, 3 shifts, including 24-hour economy, and then when you get the opportunity, no 1 job, 3 shifts. When you get the opportunity, you are unable to lead the country on that path of your own promise. Then you come that Ghanaians should now pay 4 cedi 50 pesos per gallon of petrol. That's your only solution. It is more expensive because the e-levy and Akufo-Addo was less than 2 billion. This your e-levy is going to cost the Ghanaian taxpayer 5.7 billion and more. Mr. Speaker, if you go to page 4, under the same paragraph 7.0, the committee concludes on that paragraph with this very curious statement. The decision to increase the levy on petroleum is based on the need to find a balance between ensuring stable power supply while promoting financial sustainability of the sector.
Do you have a long way to go?
Pardon?
Do you have a long way to go?
No, Mr. Speaker, I'm just going to conclude.
Very well.
Mr. Speaker, the decision to increase the levy on petroleum prices is based on the need to find a balance between ensuring stable power supply while promoting the financial sustainability of the sector. This is what the committee is urging upon us. Then when they had the opportunity, the energy minister was once again doing the usual politics, NDC, MPP. Mr. Speaker, the solution does not lie in partisan political blame game. The government communications minister, when he had his opportunity to speak on this matter, was rather saying that increasing this levy, imposing more levy on Ghanaians, is a patriotic act and a call to duty. That is what was coming from him. Very rich. Very, very rich. Mr. Speaker, were they not the people who said they were against taxes and levies? What has changed? What has changed? Today, you call it a mess. Today, you call it a mess, but you've forgotten that is the same power purchase agreement you signed in 2014 and 2015 that you are coming to pay for. Tell us two power purchase agreements that Akufo-Addo government signed. Tell us two. Tell us just two. All these power purchase agreements that you are complaining of were signed by you under the John Mahama administration 1, 2013 to 2016. Those were the agreement you signed. Mr. Speaker, our side, per the views we expressed at paragraph 10, the minority opinion, Mr. Speaker, I re-echo the fact that it is our contention that it is not appropriate to impose additional burden on Ghanaians having regard to this government's own public views on taxation. If the government found the need to repeal e-levy, which was lesser an amount, less than 2 billion, why would the same government, claiming to be a caring government, now impose 5.7 billion more under e-levy? Mr. Speaker, this is not a solution. So we are opposed to this. We hold a view that, Mr. Speaker, this is not an urgent matter. The government should engage in broader consultation with stakeholders in the sector, not to take advantage of the sleeping hours of the Ghanaian public. Many Ghanaians are asleep. I don't know whether it's because of this that they said today we are sitting at 2 p.m. It is getting to 11. They don't want Ghanaians to participate in this matter. Mr. Speaker, if this government is minded, it should place this bill on ice. Let there be proper consultation. Let us discuss the reforms, the gains in the reforms, as Honorable Haruna Adruso has just told us, so that if after the reforms there are still some gaps, we can come together and sit to discuss this. But Mr. Speaker, for now, if they want to use their numbers, there's one thing I want to assure them, that we are going to take them through the necessary processes in accordance with our rules, and they cannot think of railroading this bill like they did in the gold board. It will not happen. You will not have your way. The people of Ghana must be heard. You must engage them and ensure that the proper consultation is done. Counting your numbers, you don't have the numbers. You don't have the numbers to take this thing through. Look at all the empty seats. You don't have the numbers, so don't attempt. We are going to ensure a head count, and we've counted you already. You are not up to the threshold to take a decision. You don't have the threshold to take a decision. So we know, and we are forewarning you. Mr. Speaker, I rest my case.
Yes, Honorable Majority Leader.
Let me thank colleagues for a very spirited debate on the Energy Sector Levy Amendment Bill 2025. Mr. Speaker, let me go straight to the most important point. The most important point. The most important point is that in the last 4 months, when the NDC government started implementing its economic policies, having appointed its ministers, measures have been put in place that have accrued to the ordinary Ghanaian a certain amount of money. One, because of our prudent management of the finances of this country, the cedi has appreciated against the major currencies, including the US dollars. As a result of that, fuel, which Ghanaians used to buy at around 17, 16 Ghana cedis, has now reduced to 11 Ghana cedis per liter. Mr. Speaker, by that reduction, Ghanaians have been given at least 5 Ghana cedis by virtue of the reduction from 16 to 11. Mr. Speaker, if per liter, Mr. Speaker, if 1 Ghana cedis will give us a total of 5.7 billion, then what it means is that Ghanaians have been given 5.7 billion times 5. So, Mr. Speaker, by virtue of the prudent management of the finances, this single policy, one single item, and Ghanaians consume a lot of items. A lot of the items, the prices have been reducing. One item alone, petroleum, the price is reducing. And by the reduction of that price, Ghanaians have been given over 28 billion Ghana cedis in 4 months. What this bill is saying, Mr. Speaker, is that out of the 28.5 billion Ghana cedis that is being given to Ghanaians, we are pleading with them to sacrifice just 5.7 billion of that amount. We are pleading with Ghanaians to relinquish 5.7 billion of the 28.5 billion that they are going to receive as a result of the prudent management of the finances of this country. Many other items, the prices are reducing. We're not asking for anything out of those other commodities. Just one single item, that is fuel, diesel, and petrol. Sacrifice 5.7 billion Ghana cedis out of the 28.5 billion Ghana cedis. So this is not a tax. This is an appeal to Ghanaians to sacrifice some of the benefits. Some of the benefits. It is not a tax. We are appealing to Ghanaians to sacrifice some of the benefits of our prudent management of the finances of this country so that we will solve a major problem, and that is the energy sector challenge. Mr. Speaker, everybody knows that we need to stabilize our energy sector. And everybody knows that this is a government that will fix the energy sector, just as we are fixing and resetting several sectors of this country. The president has already taken measures to deal with the issue of losses so that we'll be able to ensure greater efficiency. Mr. Speaker, so when there is an attempt to brand this as a reintroduction of e-levy, I think that we need to understand exactly what it is. This is not an attempt to reintroduce e-levy. E-levy is fundamentally different from this levy. This levy is a benefit that we are saying sacrifice some to us, but e-levy was highway robbery. Highway robbery, where when Ama goes to the market and sells her produce and decides to transmit the money to a colleague trader to supply the goods, the state will stand on the highway, the electronic highway, and take some of the money without having contributed in any way. That was what e-levy was. And that is why this side of the House opposed e-levy. But this is not e-levy. Mr. Speaker, this is a tax that has always existed. Indeed, when e-levy existed, this energy sector levy also existed. So it is not e-levy being replaced with another e-levy. Mr. Speaker, I'm not surprised that today the minority will be opposing this, because this is not the first time. When we were passing ESLA, they opposed it. They opposed it. But when they came into office, not only did they spend it, they used it and they mortgaged it and took loans. They mortgaged it and took loans. So I'm not surprised that today, this very innovative effort to get Ghanaians to contribute so that we'll fix the challenges in our energy sector is facing stiff opposition from Honorable Afoyo-Makin and his colleagues. Stiff opposition. Very stiff opposition. Mr. Speaker, I'm not surprised. In fact, I would have been surprised if there was no opposition at all.
Honorable Majority Leader. Yes, Minority Leader. What is your concern?
Mr. Speaker, we in this chamber, we are politicians. The clerks at table, they are not. So when we are doing our politics, we do our politics. I'm happy the clerk has just entered. The cameramen, when the majority leader was on his feet, they are only focusing on him. If a cameraman would deliberately take, when I've taken my leg out of my shoe, Mr. Jetro, let your cameraman know that if they want to play politics with a camera, we will not take kindly to it. Yes, Mr. Speaker, if they would now be taking our legs, why is it that when he goes to the majority leader, he's only focusing on the upper part of his body? If the cameraman will be doing partisan politics, then he must be cautious. Mr. Speaker, I had momentarily taken my legs off my shoe. Then he zoomed the camera down to take it. Mr. Speaker, I will speak on some of these things because today it may be me, tomorrow it may be you. It is not right because I was in pain and I removed my legs from my shoe. How come I'm debating? You decided to only zoom down. Mr. Speaker, we should. It's me. Mr. Speaker, why? No. Mr. Speaker, I will speak to it. If we do not check some of these things, tomorrow they will deliberately zoom on your phone and spy on what you are reading. They must be told that they should do their work professionally. Mr. Speaker, I am saying this, nobody should take it personal. Nobody should hold the fort for them. Tomorrow, it will be you. As for me, I'll speak on some of these things. If you think you should support them, one day they'll do it to you. And you will see. So let us stop them. It is not right that when you are zooming the camera in the chamber, you go and target the leader's shoe down there. When we Mr. Speaker, I had taken my shoe off because my leg was hurting. You know, we sat down for a long time. And then when you go to the majority leader, he's only focusing on the upper part of him, not going down there. Mr. Speaker, the cameraman must not be part of the politics of this house. That's all I want to say.
Honorable Majority Leader, proceed. Honorable Majority Leader, proceed. Honorable Majority Leader, please proceed.
Mr. Speaker, my friend, the Honorable Minority Leader, is worried about his feet today. A few days ago, he was lying in front of Yoko with the feet on display for all Ghanaians to see. Mr. Speaker, a few days ago, he, not this cameraman, he removed his shoes and was sitting in plain public view and displaying his feet. Mr. Speaker, and he encouraged all his colleagues to also remove their shoes and sat on the floor, the tarmac. Today he's worried about us seeing his shoes, his feet. These feet that you were displaying to Ghanaians a few days ago at Yoko.
He has removed it again. He has removed the shoes again.
Honorable Majority Leader, proceed.
Mr. Speaker, on a more serious note, I indicated in the beginning that I was not going to waste anybody's time. I just have one simple point, and I have made that point, that this is not a tax in the ordinary sense. Government, through its prudent policies, have conferred a benefit of 28.5 billion Ghana cedis on Ghanaians, and is pleading with Ghanaians that in view of the challenges we are having in the energy sector, can we sacrifice 5.7 billion out of that amount to be invested in solving the problems that we have in the energy sector to ensure reliable supply of electricity. I believe this point is simple enough. I believe the Ghanaians will support us, and I believe they will support us because this is a government, when it makes a promise, it keeps the promise. Mr. Speaker, on that note, I urge you to put the question. Thank you very much.
Honorable members, at the conclusion of the debate, the question is, as many as are in favor of the motion, say aye. Those against, say no. Honorable members, the ayes have it.
An act
The
to
motion
amend the Energy Sector Levy
is accordingly
Act
adopted.
2025. Act 1135 to increase the rates of the energy sector shortfall and debt repayment levy in order to raise additional revenue to support the payment of energy sector shortfall, reduce energy sector legacy debt, and stabilize power supply.
Mr. Speaker, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, arise under Order 1513. Mr. Speaker, and with your permission, I read Order 1513. A member may challenge the decision of the Speaker on the voice vote, and the Speaker shall determine whether to call for head count or electronic votes. Mr. Speaker, I invite you to head count and to follow the procedure under Order 152. I so submit, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable members, I think the voice vote is very clear to me.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, it's the rule of this House that when a member is not convinced on the outcome of the voice vote, he may challenge. Mr. Speaker, and he says that, Mr. Speaker, read it again. It says shall. Mr. Speaker, and I am challenging your decision on the voice vote and inviting you to a head count. And Mr. Speaker, when the decision of the Speaker is challenged on a voice vote, you must follow the procedure. So I'm challenging your decision on the voice
relevant rules. Kindly read the relevant rules.
Mr. Speaker, the provision that I quoted was that a member may challenge the decision of the Speaker on the voice vote.
Which of the rules are you reading?
I'm reading Order 1513. A member may challenge the decision of the Speaker on the voice vote, and the Speaker shall determine whether to call for a head count or electronic vote. Mr. Speaker, you have only two options here on the emphasis of the shall, either a head count or electronic vote. And in this case, I invite you to a head count and to go by the procedure under Order 152. I saw something, Mr. Speaker.
You see, Honorable Deputy Minority Whip, at this time of the night, the voice vote is very clear. Honorable members, if the voice vote is not clear, I will say I think the ayes have it. But when the voice vote is very clear, I will say the ayes have it. So what I said was the ayes have it, and the motion is carried.
Mr. Speaker, no, he said that. Mr. Speaker, I think the procedure in which you put the question was under 151. 1511 says that when the question has been put by the Speaker at the conclusion of the debate, the vote shall be taken by voice indicating yeah or no. And that is why after 151, I am now challenging your decision under 1513.
So in the circumstances, All those against the motion, rise on your feet to be counted. All those against the motion, rise on your feet to be counted.
Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker. We in the Justice Abdullahi case. Mr. Speaker, in the Justice Abdullahi case, the Supreme Court decided that it would have to take 138 to take a decision. Mr. Speaker, if the majority, they claim they are super majority, if they have their 187, they should at least bring 138 now and take a decision. You don't have 138, Mr. Speaker. They don't have 138.
Honorable Clerk.
Come on, Mr. Speaker.
All those against the motion, rise on your feet to be counted. So the clerk, I hereby order you to count them.
Do your thing.
Honourable members, order. Honourable members, let me place on record that I am operating within the meaning of the rule. I was clear when I put the question that the ayes have it. And accordingly, I ruled that the ayes have it. The Honourable Deputy Whip called for a head count. And the procedure for the head count is stated in Standing Order 152. Let me read. The Speaker shall take a vote of the House in the case of a head count by calling upon members who support or oppose the question to rise in their place successively. So the question is members who support or oppose. Therefore, I have discretion to decide whether members who support or members who oppose to be counted first. It is on that basis that I ask that members who are opposed to the application to rise and be counted. Instead of rising and be counted, they choose to walk out. So why will you call for a division? When they ask you to rise and be counted, then you walk out. Honourable members, let's proceed. The ayes have it.
An act to amend the Energy Sector Levies Act 2025, Act 1135, to increase the rate of the energy sector shortfall and debt repayment levy in order to raise additional revenue to support the payment of energy sector shortfalls, reduce energy sector legacy debt, and stabilize power supply.
Honourable members, the Energy Sector Levy Amendment Bill is read for the second time and accordingly passed. Duly read the second time. Honourable members, let's move to item numbered 5 on the order paper addendum.
Right,
Motion.
Honourable Speaker. I beg to move that motion advertised as item 5 on today's order paper addendum be taken now. I so move.
Honourable members, motion move. Any seconder?
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion.
Honourable members, motion move and seconded, and it is for the consideration of the House. This is a procedural motion. The question is, as many as are in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. The motion is carried. Honourable members, item numbered 6. The Energy Sector Levies Amendment Bill 2025 at consideration stage. Honourable members, the schedule.
Schedule to Act 1135 amended.
Yes, Chairman of the committee.
Yes, we have no amendment.
Honourable members, no proposed amendment from the committee. It's now for the consideration of the House. Is any member having a proposed amendment? There being no proposed amendment. The question is, all those in favor of the schedule being part of the bill, say aye. Those against say no. Honourable members, the ayes have it. The schedule is ordered to stand part of the bill. Honourable members, long title.
An Act to amend the Energy Sector Levies Act 2025, Act 1135, to increase the rate of the energy sector shortfall and debt repayment levy in order to raise additional revenue to support the payment of energy sector shortfalls, reduce energy sector legacy debt, and stabilize power supply.
One of the committee, any proposed amendment?
Speaker, we have no
title?
advertised amendment.
Honourable members, no advertised amendment from the committee. However, it is open. Yes, Honourable Haruna Idrisu.
Mr. Speaker, I just took a copy of the act, the long title, to amend the Energy Sector Levies Act. I see 2025 there. Is that appropriate? Just want to assure myself. Thank you.
Yes,
Mr.
Honourable
Speaker.
Finance Minister.
Mr. Speaker, during the 2025 budget that was read and passed some few months ago, we repealed the Energy Sector Levies Act 2015 and reintroduced a new Energy Sector Levies Act 2025. And so the rendition is correct. Thank you.
Yes, Honourable members, Act 1135 is 2025. So, honourable members, there have been no proposed amendments. The question, therefore, is as many as are in favor of the long title standing part of the bill, say aye. Those against say no. Honourable members, the ayes have it. The long title is accordingly ordered to stand part of the bill. Honourable members, that brings us to the end of a consideration stage. Honourable members, let's move to item number 7. Honourable members, motion numbered 7 on the order paper addendum. Minister for Finance.
Right Honourable Speaker, I beg to move that motion advertised as item 7 on today's order paper be taken now. I so move.
Honourable members, motion moved accordingly. Any seconder?
Mr. Speaker, I second motion.
Honourable members, motion moved and seconded, and it is for the consideration of the House. This is a procedural motion. Therefore, the question is, as many as are in favour of the motion, say aye. Those against, say no. Honourable members, the ayes have it. The motion is adopted. Item numbered 8. Minister for Finance.
Right Honourable Speaker, I beg to move that the Energy Sector Levies Amendment Bill 2025 be now read the third time. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable members, motion move. Any seconder?
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion.
Honourable members, motion move and seconded. The question is, as many as are in favour of the motion numbered 8 on the order paper addendum, say aye. Those against, say no. Honourable members, the ayes have it. The motion is accordingly carried. The Energy Sector...
An Act to amend the Energy Sector Levies Act 2025, Act 1135, to increase the rate of the energy sector shortfall and debt repayment levy in order to raise additional revenue to support the payment of energy sector shortfalls, reduce energy sector legacy debts, and stabilize power supply.
Honourable members, the Energy Sector Levy Amendment Bill 2025 is duly read and passed for the third time. Yes, Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I think we have come to the end of the day. Mr. Speaker, in view of Friday being a public holiday, I just want to serve notice that the usual arrangement for the Minister for Roads to come and answer questions on Fridays, we'll shift that to Thursday so that the table office, if you can take note, and you can move the Minister for Roads questions from Friday to Thursday. I just thought I should give advance notice. Otherwise, Mr. Speaker, we are at your pleasure.
Table office, kindly take note. Honourable members, standing on order 56-2, I will proceed to adjourn the House. The House is accordingly adjourned till Wednesday, the 4th day of June, 2025, at an indication.
Mr. Speaker, 2 o'clock.
Honourable members, the House is accordingly adjourned till Wednesday, 4th day of June 2025 at 2 o'clock afternoon.